But Dita knows me only as Uncle Jason.
That's it.
Uncle Jay, because Justin's like, who's the owner of Dita's, like, he's got to know you as your character's name, not as David, because it's just the way it worked. And I found that interesting, too, is when I first met Dita, it was like, this is Uncle Jay, go to Uncle Jay, because you're going to be working with Uncle Jay. So the dog thinks there's Uncle Jay, it's not David. So it's like, if I was like, hey, Uncle David's here, he would be like, probably looking around. Uncle Jay's here. I got a Belgian Malamar coming at me. I'm like, slow down, man. It's a very intense dog, and fascinating to work with. Smart. Just very smart. And obviously, when you do work with animals on set, you have to be very careful. I'm always conscious of the fact. And I tell Justin, does Dita need water? What does Dita need? Dita's on a special diet. So you always have to remember that, because it's such a fast-paced shooting schedule, and you have to realize there's a lot of weaponry that's going on when we do go on these missions and operations and shoot that, so we're always very careful with that.
Well, it's funny. I was reading anything I could on Dita, honestly. I couldn't get enough. And I was reading one thing with Justin, and he was saying the way they do it is that, Dita is a narcotics sniffing dog, but in the show, it's an explosive sniffing dog. So it's all training for her, is what he was saying, is that like he's factored in that all of her performances are just training exercises. So Dita's getting better. She's learning as well and like doing her own thing.
She is. It's fascinating to watch what these dogs do is usually if there's an explosive device, they sit. And you're like, whoa, you're going through an op and a dog sits. That's heavy. You know there's an explosive device, and you're all like really intense.
Just from a storytelling standpoint, when you were first introduced to Dita in the beginning of the show, and they were like, she doesn't sit for anything except explosives, I was like, oh, that dog's gonna sit at some point. And so now, like, I was on the edge of my seat, like waiting, like, is Dita sitting yet? Like, when's Dita gonna
the dog
sit?
sits, have a drink.
Exactly.